The scenario is we are the public health office on district level, and we received a couple of reports describing cases of influenza-like diseases. And later, the cases has been confirmed as H7N9 avian influenza. And there are 15 isolated cases that are being treated in different hospitals. And we are concerned about a small outbreak happened in one family. 5 people, including 2 children, were infected, and all of them are hospitalized. And 2 of them are in serious condition, probably in ICU. And all cases have visited different food markets, and some have chickens at home. So this is our scenario, H7N9. And just to make a little bit summary, actually our situation is H7N9, which is a new disease, or imported disease for most of the South Asia country, except China. And we now have a fair number of cases, and there's one family cluster. So we assume there could be human-to-human transmission. So in this situation, actually, we didn't quite follow the metrics for the first column, because following our indicators for an outbreak, it's already an outbreak. So we started right away the outbreak response. So for the information gathering, for the outbreak response, we started from finding out the magnitude of the outbreak, and the method is active case searching. And we also, actually, from the very beginning, gathering the information, we also put the One Health concept in mind. We try to find out the information from the investigation for all of the possible sectors. We do the case mapping for human cases, and at the meantime, we will give this information for the veterinarian team, and they will track the chickens and possible exposed live markets. And also we will consider the traveling history, and probably inform other districts. And because this is quite a complicated situation, so we will have the local task force. We call it a task force involving health people, human health, veterinarian, probably policemen, and local administration, because we are planning for the future action, like closing the markets, blocking the transportation of the poultries. All right, so after gathering the information, and we will actually do the simple analysis, try to find out the source of the infection, and define the magnitude of the outbreak. Then we will share this important information to neighboring districts, because the disease may spread already. And of course, we will report this information to provincial level, and probably we will make a meeting, and we will make the plan together for involving different level and different sectors, because this situation we consider is quite, it needs a One Health concept and collaboration. And And for the communication, we consider, because this situation may have impact on the different sectors like the livestock sectors, and also probably tourism, and of course the human side. So we need to do the risk communication carefully, and we will have a unified communication channel. We will appoint some spokesmen, sorry, and key messages will be delivered to different audience, and with slightly modified the content. And the key messages for the general people, instead of asking them not to do this, not to eat chicken, not to go to the live markets, we would rather tell them not to cook the chicken properly and cook the food properly, and be aware of the visiting the live market, because from the experience, people do not change their behavior easily. So we try to find out the possible solutions, and we will use IEC materials as media formats, including radios, broadcasting, and posters, anything suitable for the locals and the general public. And for the coordination, for the coordination, we have here, from sorry, one bullet here. We will have like the information hub, which we call it steering committee, or some place call it emergency operations center from the CDC or WHO term. But anyway, we will have an information hub. Then we will have a single channel to speak to the public clearly and accurately, and we will have the spokesperson at provincial level or national level, and we will do the press release to make the information transparent. All right, so this is coordination, and actually there's some discussion. We didn't put it here for the cross-border, because we already have MBDS in place, and we know people who know each other can easily communicate, so probably we just grab the phone and call each other. And internationally, we have IHR still working as an official channel. All right. So for page 2, we have this question. Please describe your current collaboration with different sectors and stakeholders you wish to improve the situation for the outbreak situation. So the current situation now is we do not have so many joint planning and joint training among human, animal, and public health sectors. So all these 3 sectors, we had somehow same mutual desired situation is we want to have more joint planning, joint training, and joint common guidelines. And the indicator of change could be numbers of training conducted, or numbers of workshop like this conducted, and number of guidelines issued, distributed, and probably number of team and team member we can count. And the intervention intervention methods could be training and joint investigation. For the public, we would like to have, actually now the public communication, the risk communication only happens when something happens. But actually at that time, people are in doubt whether we are releasing the right information. So the desired situation is we should have the constant information releasing. At the in this normal situation, we should not ignore the public. We should also give them the information needed for decision making regarding their own health. And in the outbreak situation, we should give them the transparent and accurate information, but not making them panic. Do not use too much technical term to scare people. And we should develop the proper IEC material. IEC stands for Information, Education, Communication. So it's covers all. All right. Okay, so the for traveling, we should keep the, now. Actually, we do not have so much like connection with traveling sectors, and the desired situation is we should keep the travelers and agents informed about the risk, health situation risks, and we should give them information to make the decision, to help them to make decision to avoid, to prevent the risk, instead of like telling them not to go to Thailand, not go to West Africa. Instead, we should tell them of the live markets is the risk area for contacting the H7N9. So beware of that. So we should give them the information for them to make decision. Okay, and for trade, actually we have several different options as the desired situation. If possible, we should limit the market or close the market to somehow cut the transmission in the situation of H7N9, and we should do proper monitoring and evaluation. But actually, in some situation, because people are still, in some area, like in China, people have the long tradition of eating the fresh flesh of the poultry. I mean, they want to cook the fresh meat to be their meal. They're not eating it raw, but they want to eat it fresh. So if you close the markets, people will sell it somewhere else, and people still want to buy the fresh meat. So instead, in China, we do the disinfection of the market, and the ideal situation should be proper market regulation to keep the poultry clean and cut the transmission route. And there's one term, we call it one-way market. So the poultry only comes to the from the farm to the market, not returning. Even the vendor cannot sell them all. They are not going to return the chicken back to the farm, because from the research, actually the live markets is the source of mixing the virus. Transmission happened there. So that's all from our team.